The storm wall over Varelia, 9 boiled with violet lightning as Corporal Elias Warren marched across the mineral flats, visor shielding his eyes from the static glare. The war between the Terran Union and the Varelian Concord had ended only 4 months prior, yet tension hung in the thin atmosphere like a wire ready to snap. Officially, Elias was part of the Humanitarian Stabilization Unit. Unofficially, he was here because he couldn't shake the nightmares of the war's last battle. Too many lives lost, too many unanswered questions about what they had fought for. His assignment today was simple: deliver medical supplies to a remote Varelian settlement and check for civilians still displaced from the bombardments. Elias expected empty streets and damaged homes. What he didn't expect was the scream. A thin, piercing cry rippled down the canyon corridor of obsidian homes, echoing off quartz-like walls. It was not human, too high, too resonant. Elias froze. The cry came again, louder, panicked, and unrelenting. He followed the sound to a half-collapsed dwelling. One side melted from plasma fire. His helmet lights cut through the dust. "Union assistance," he called. "Is someone injured?" Another wail. Frantic, breathless. Elias shoved debris aside and entered. In the corner, partially hidden beneath a fallen support beam, lay a Varelian woman. Her skin, normally a shimmering blue, was dulled to a pale silver. She was breathing but weakly, and cradled in her arms was the source of the screams. A Varelian infant, swaddled in woven filament, tiny tendrils flexing with every shriek. The mother's unfocused eyes flicked toward him. "Human," she rasped. "Please." Elias knelt immediately. "Don't try to move. I have medical." "Not me." Her trembling hand pushed the crying infant toward him. "Her. She will not stop. She needs warmth. My body grows cold." The infant screamed again, louder, the sound vibrating in Elias's bones. "But your people don't trust." "Please," the mother whispered. "Hold her." Something in her voice, fear, desperation, hope, left no room for refusal. Elias swallowed, slid his arms beneath the infant, and lifted her. The effect was instant. The screaming ceased as though cut off by a switch. The baby's 3 bright, bioluminescent eyes blinked open. Her small limbs curled against his armor, and a soft, fluttering hum replaced her cry. The mother exhaled in relief. "She feels your heartbeat. Humans run warmer, stronger." She closed her eyes again. Elias stared down at the tiny alien bundled against his chest, her skin glowing faintly against his suit. He had seen Varelians before, but never one this young. Before he could speak, the mother coughed, clutching her side. He laid the baby gently on a thermal pad and moved to assess the mother's injuries. A jagged shard of crystal-like wall had pierced her abdomen. She didn't have long. He grabbed his med kit, but she touched his wrist weakly. "No. Save your supplies. They will not work on my physiology." Elias hesitated. "I can call evac." Her eyes softened. "There is no time. Listen to me, human soldier. My mate died in the bombardment. Have no kin here. The war took them all. My child. If she is to live, someone must carry her to the Concord Enclave in the Northern Ridge. They will accept her, if she arrives alive." The baby let out a soft trill, sensing the distress in the room. Elias felt something cold settle in his chest. "You want me to transport her? Across 30 kilometers of unstable terrain. Alone. You are the only one who came," she whispered. "And she trusts you already." Elias looked back at the infant, now reaching faint tendrils toward him. Something warmed in his chest, a feeling he hadn't let himself experience since the war began. "I'll take her," he said quietly. The mother's eyes glimmered. "Thank you, Elias Warren." "How did?" But she didn't answer. Her breath slowed. Her skin dulled. And within moments she was still. Elias closed her eyes gently, then lifted the baby once more. She cooed, nestling into his chest plate as though the world had always been this simple. But what came next was anything but. The long march. The storm wall intensified as Elias trekked northward, baby secured against his chest inside a thermal sling made from emergency insulation sheets. She remained calm, almost serene, whenever he held her. But when he tried to set her down even for a moment, she whimpered and trembled. So he kept her close, adjusting his balance with each step. He named her Lumi, because of the soft glow that pulsed from her skin when she rested. As they walked through crystalline ravines and across shifting dunes, Elias spoke to her, quietly, awkwardly at first. "You know, Lumi, last time I walked this valley, I wasn't carrying anyone. We were fighting your people. Stupid now that I think about it. Neither of us knew why." Lumi chirped softly, as if agreeing. Hours later, the ground began to tremble. The valley walls shook. A roar echoed across the flats. "Quake," Elias muttered, clutching Lumi protectively as a cascade of stones crashed behind him. He sprinted, dodging falling shards of crystal. Lumi's glow brightened in fear, but she did not scream, not as long as he held her close. The quake ended as abruptly as it began. Elias slowed, panting. "You're a brave one, aren't you?" Lumi squirmed, pressing closer. Night fell, bringing deadly sub-zero winds. Elias activated his suit's thermal shell and curled around Lumi inside a rocky alcove, shielding her with his body. She warmed instantly, purring, a sound he hadn't expected from any sentient species. "You're gonna get me in trouble," he whispered. "Human soldier smuggles alien infant across no man's land. That'll look good on the report." Lumi nuzzled his chin. And despite the chilling wind, exhaustion, and the uncertainty ahead, Elias felt something he hadn't felt in years. Purpose. The Enclave. By the next afternoon, the Concord Enclave towers shimmered on the horizon, rising behind a curtain of heat distortion. 2 Varelian guards halted as Elias approached. "Halt, human," one hissed. "You walk armed and unannounced." Elias lifted his hands slowly. "I have a civilian infant. Orphan. Her mother asked me to bring her here." They hesitated, until Lumi peeked her glowing face from the sling and chirped. The guards stiffened. "By the ancestors. Bring her inside." He was rushed into a crystalline chamber radiating violet light. Varelian healers gathered around, examining Lumi with gentle hands. One of them, a tall elder, turned to Elias. "She is healthy, exhausted, hungry but stable. You carried her through the storm." Elias nodded. The elder studied him carefully. "Strange. Varelian infants do not take easily to other species. They bond only to those they trust. Her calmness in your arms is not normal." Elias wasn't sure how to respond. "She just needed someone. And you answered." The elder bowed his head. "For that, the Concord is in your debt." Elias looked at Lumi one last time. She was nestled in a healer's arms now, glowing softly. But the moment their eyes met, she reached toward him, crying for the first time since he had taken her. The healer frowned. "She is distressed. She recognizes you as her stabilizing presence." Elias stepped forward, hesitated, then gently touched her tiny hand. Lumi quieted instantly. The chamber fell silent. "What does this mean?" Elias asked. The elder breathed deeply. It means your journeys are now linked. She will survive, but she will always remember the heartbeat that saved her. And in our culture, that bond is sacred. Elias felt a tightness in his throat. So what happens now? That, the elder said, is for you to decide. Stay and help raise her. Or leave and return to your world. But know this, she will cry for you until her voice fails. Elias looked down at Lumi, glowing softly, trusting completely. And he knew the decision before he even spoke it. I'm staying. Lumi cooed, pressing her head into his palm. For the first time in years, Elias felt like he was exactly where he needed to be.